Hey, it's Ryan from the Casket Creatures, and you're watching Good Company.
Good company!
Hey guys, my name's Scott Bowling and you're watching Good Company. Today we have the man, Ryan. Ryan is in the band Casket Creatures. Casket Creatures have a bunch of albums out, but besides that, he has a movie coming out, which we're going to talk about. Ryan, thank you for being here, brother.
Dude, thank you for having me, man.
Awesome,
it's a
man.
long time coming. I'm glad we could finally
I had
do
your buddy
this.
Jamie here.
Dude, yeah, Jamie's interview was awesome. It was
Thank
good seeing
you,
him,
thank you.
man. That
Well,
was
first
great.
of all, talk about Jamie. How was he in Casket Creatures at the beginning?
Yeah. So the first two albums, and then like part way through the EP that we did after that. Yeah, me and Jamie like started the band. We were just like we started with this band called Brain Buffet, which was like a jokey like zombie punk thing where we'd like wear like Goodwill suits that were all shredded up, and we'd put on makeup and we'd sing about goofy Halloween shit, and it was fun. And we just did Halloween shows, and we did a bunch of covers, and it was really fun. But then we were eventually like, hey, we're doing these other bands. Like I was doing Gray Skull, he was doing Hexenhouse Massacre, and eventually we're like, hey man, it's like kind of fun. Like why don't we do this year round? Like why are we limiting ourselves to just playing in October? There's plenty of bands that can do this year round. Like why don't we try it? And we were like, okay, cool, but let's rebrand. Let's call it something else. Let's write some new songs and just start from scratch. Yeah. And we did, and we went all in, and like we were just like hardcore into it. And we did this first two albums, and then we had Derek join right after the first album, and he really shaped a lot of the sound that we got later on. And everything just kind of fell into place.
So when you so going back, you were in Gray Skull first.
Yeah.
Right. That was. But Gray Skull didn't have that same style. It wasn't like the what do you call it, horror punk?
Like horror rock, horror
rock.
punk.
Yeah.
No, Gray Skull definitely was not that style at all. It was more like an Iron Maiden metal-y kind of thing.
Is that your roots, kind of Iron Maiden?
Oh yeah,
style?
like metal is definitely where I cut my teeth. Like that's where I really got started. I think the first album I had was Ride the Lightning.
How did you get into Ride the Lightning? Did you have an older brother?
Oh, my dad.
Oh, your dad listened to it.
Yeah.
Cool.
My dad was like metal as fuck. Like
Really?
my dad was like, yeah, let's go. He's like, you need to check this out. He's like, I know you're only 6, but fucking listen to this shit. I'm like, all right. No, my dad got me into metal, and he's been my biggest supporter forever. He's just a great dude.
Wow.
And then I did the Gray Skull thing, and it was awesome.
When did you start singing though? Like when did that happen?
Oh, we're going that far.
We're going
back.
all the way.
Oh
back.
shit!
This
All right.
part,
Well,
yeah. When you were 5.
Now,
talk about it.
Singing. Okay, yeah. So, it oddly enough, despite like the pentagrams and the satanic stuff that we do on stage, started in church.
Nice.
Yeah, like I was singing church solos.
Can you sing one right now?
No, I don't want to. I feel like that clip would get out and people would use it against me.
We would do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I would use it against you.
You might. But no. So it started in church. Like it was like, hey, like we need someone to sing this like solo at church, and I did it, and I was like probably like 8 or something. Did that, and that kind of broke my wall of like not being scared of like playing in front of people or being in front of people. It just kind of opened it up. I was like, this is cool. Then I joined, whenever I was in middle school, I joined chorus, and that like taught me like the classical like how to sing and the proper way to do it.
Oh, cool.
And I mean that it just kind of went from there. I started my first band in probably 8th grade, I think.
What were you called?
They're called Kapala, but don't look any of it up. If you can find it, just don't.
Send it to me.
No, it is bad. I mean, it was a lot of fun.
Did you ever play like instruments?
Gray Skull's the first band that I actually like acknowledge.
Oh, cool.
Like Gray Skull was like
Gray
my
Skull
first band.
like out of high school?
Yeah.
Okay,
It
cool.
was. I think it was like I just graduated. I think I was like 18 or 19 when I started Gray Skull, and like it was literally just like a band in Gainesville was like, we need a singer, and apparently they were just having a hell of a time. They were about to hang it up. They were about to stop.
Oh, cool.
And it was Bradley and Drew and like friends of ours. And they were like about to stop, and they posted an ad like, we desperately need a singer for this metal band because we have all these awesome songs.
Was this before like social media when you said post an ad?
It was I think it was MySpace actually. Yeah, I think
cool.
it was MySpace. And I reached out to Drew. I didn't know any of the guys.
Yeah.
I showed up there, and they were all older than me and like looked way more metal than me and like kind of scary. And I was like, I'm really fucking nervous, like because I haven't really been in a real band before this. And then the reason that I got the gig was they started playing a song and they were like just letting me hear it, and I just grabbed a microphone and I just started singing what I thought would fit with the song.
Yeah.
And they were like, "You got the job," and they were like, I was like, "Whoa!" I don't even know what I was singing. I was just kind of trying to feel the song and like get into it. And they're like, "No, you got the job." Because like you were the first person to actually sing at this rehearsal, like or at this audition. They're like, everyone else is like, oh, I'll write down some notes and come back to you guys later. And they're like, no, you just took it and you're like, I'm gonna do this shit.
Wow.
And yeah, those dudes taught me a lot about metal that I didn't even know about. Like showing me like Manowar and like all this shit that I was
love
like,
that.
like Overkill and like shit that it was way obscure to me. So like it got me like really into a lot of the shit I'm still into.
Oh, that's cool.
So it was awesome, man. And that's how I met, like through them, I met all of their friends and I met Jamie through them.
Okay. So Gray Skull kind of took its course?
Yeah, it kind of took its course and we were all just kind of like, everyone had life stuff happening. And I was still just like, that's cool. Like everyone has life stuff going on. But I'm younger than you guys and I still just want to party and fucking do shit. And, everyone was like having like normal life shit and they're like, all right, we're gonna tone this down or just play once or twice a year. And it just kind of fizzled out. And me and Jamie were like, nah, let's do the Casket Creatures. And
so how did, so when Casket Creatures started, what was the discussion talking about that style? Like, so you go from this metal to this other thing, like, were you guys I grew up with Jamie too, and we love Misfits and all that old stuff. Do you guys kind of like, let's do something different, right? Because not too many bands were doing that in Gainesville, right?
Nobody.
Nobody
that I knew of.
Yeah.
And that was the thing, like, so that was kind of where we decided to do it because we're like, nobody's really doing this kind of thing. And like, I think Jamie actually like introduced me to a lot of the horror punk stuff. Like I knew about the Misfits and some stuff, but he was like, oh, here's some like obscure shit. And then I'd find some obscure shit and I'd be like, Jamie, check this out. And we got really deep into it. Even when I was in Gray Skull and he was in Hexenhouse Massacre, like we would hang out at like parties and stuff that we'd all collectively be hanging out at because we were all friends and we were in different bands, but we'd always play together. So we always hung out. And we would always just talk, and we both just got really into like horror stuff, and we're like, man, it'd be cool to do this. It's out of our element, both of our elements, and I think that's why a lot of the Casket Creature stuff is a little more metal sounding than a lot of the horror punk bands, because a lot of horror punk bands sound like early Danzig Misfits, like punk rock. But like our stuff had a little bit more of an edge to it, I think. Even early on, I think a lot of it was like heavier.
Now that you said that, and actually your voice has that kind of metal, like, you got a great voice.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I grew up like vocalists like Dave Mustaine and Bruce Dickinson, like all Rob Halford, like all these guys that to me is like metal, So like I get into like some of the like really really heavy stuff. It's cool, but like as far as like metal vocalists, like I look at like Dio and like stuff like that. So like that, a lot of that King Diamond, like a lot of the influences I have are like the more melodic metal shit. And yeah, it just kind of came out, and it definitely worked in Gray Skull, and I eventually found my voice in Casket Creatures.
Wow.
So I definitely wasn't trying to do just the Danzig thing.
So we got your first album right here, Tales from the Unknown.
Yep.
And I got some buddies, look, Jamie and James Korn.
James Korn and Drew.
Drew, yeah.
Yeah.
So
that
talk
was the
about
first
this,
one.
man. Who recorded that for you?
That was recorded by, do you know Mac Brown?
I know Mac Brown.
Yeah.
Yes, he's a photographer now, and I know him.
So,
Good friends
he
with him.
recorded
I was in a band with him once.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
was it Caustic?
No, it was nothing. Like we started something, never done anything. That's funny you said that. Yeah, that's cool.
Well, yeah. So Mac Brown did that. We shot this in my parents' backyard, and Jamie like photoshopped some bats and spooky shit because none of us knew what we were doing. We're just like, this is the first thing we ever did. So we were like, I don't know, like fucking put blood on our face and stay in my parents' yard. And like Drew's grabbing his dick, that happens. It's fine.
It happens.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
So no, we did this, and I think there's some really good songs on there.
Yeah,
I think
we got the songs right here.
Yeah.
Got a lot of songs, 13 for your first songs.
13 songs on our first album, and we don't play any of them anymore.
You don't?
No, occasionally we will play Bark of the Beast and Agnes.
So you have a song, we'll get to this later, but you have a song called She Screams, right?
Yeah.
But your original was Sweet Screams.
Sweet Screams.
Yeah, so
it's totally different.
Yeah, that's the B-side.
Yeah, we don't play Sweet Screams at all. It's kind of not my favorite. This is not my favorite album.
If you had to bring any of these songs back, which one would you bring? Is there any one you like on there?
Oh yeah, there's lots of them I like. It's just the way that like we went about recording.
How long did it take you?
It took a while. I mean, it was like a couple months to record this thing. If I had to pick some, I mean, I think Agnes is a great song, and it's inspired by a Gainesville ghost story. So that's cool.
Oh, cool.
Jamie wrote the lyrics. I love that song. Say Goodbye Sunlight is another really good one. Bark of the Beast is another good one that I really like. And Bad to Hearst we occasionally throw in there, and that's one of the heavier ones on the album. It's one of those things, it's just like some of the ideas we had didn't translate because we didn't know what we were doing. But I still think it's a better debut album than a lot of this genre.
Did Grayskull record, or was this your first time recording?
No, Grayskull recorded. We just never actually put out a release.
What's it like being in the studio recording? Do you enjoy that?
Personally, I love it. Sometimes like some people will reach out to me about a musical project and they'll be like, "Hey, I just want you to record some vocals for me. I don't want to like play out." And I'm like, "Yes," like because I love playing out, but like I'm also involved in a lot of projects where I don't have a shitload of time.
Yeah.
So recording's awesome. Like I love it.
After you do an album like this, can you go back and listen to it, or do you critique it, or like, I should have did this, I should have, sang like this?
It took me till about the third album before I could be like, I'm 100% happy with this.
Wow. Okay.
And the key element to that was James Nation.
James Nation.
Yeah, James Nation. He's such a good producer, and he knows my voice.
Yeah.
And he knows how I work. So like, because we were in Grayskull together, so he knows
My guitar.
Yeah, he knows my voice and everything. So it just works out really good. And he will be like, "Hey, like that sucked," and I'm like, "No, that was great." And he's like, "No, that sucked. Do this." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, let me try that." And then it works, and I'm like, "Oh shit, you're awesome. I don't know why I ever doubted you." So that we just have this relationship where he knows exactly how my voice works, and I will like go out there and like be like, "That was the best I got," and he's like, "No, it's not. You can do better," and he's right every time.
Yeah.
Even with the guitars, he's just a great producer. Like he'll go to Derek and he'll be like, "That guitar solo sucked," and Derek's like, "No, it's great," and then he'll be like, "No, you have to do it again," and he plays it again and it's better, and he's like, "Shit, all right, you were right."
I like your attitude that you're like, yeah, okay, because it's funny you said it, because we won't be like, "I quit, man."
No, I never have that attitude.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
You have to take critiques, and
Yeah,
like,
that's
especially,
good.
well, I won't take critiques from people like that I think are fucking full of shit.
Yeah,
but
you
like
gotta
people
trust
that
your
I trust
judgment,
and
your friends.
yeah, exactly.
So in your second album, did you use Mac for your second?
No, we recorded it with Ty Watkins, who's a friend of ours who's in some local punk bands, and then James mixed this one. So this is when we started working with James.
Okay.
So James mixed this one, and then he shot the video for Curse of the Mummy's Tomb, which is the first music video we ever did.
Oh.
Which was like kind of where the Casket Creatures developed their style for just being like completely ridiculous.
Who shot it for you?
James Nation.
Oh, Jay shot the video.
Yeah, he shot the
Nice.
video and edited it and everything.
got you.
But like that's kind of when we took our direction of like, okay, like a lot of these horror bands are like, "Look at us, we're scary and spooky," and we're just like, no, we're like some drunk guys that like to have fun, and we like Halloween, and it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And like we just goof around, and like we literally go to Egypt and fight a mummy in this video, and it's like some old school, just ridiculous shit.
Who comes up with these concepts? Is this...
That one was me and Bradley came up with the concept
Cool.
for that one, and we shot the whole thing in his basement. But like, if you watch the video, you really can't tell. Like, it looks like a pretty good makeshift tomb that we're in.
Yeah.
And it looks a lot more roomy than just his basement, but it's just the way it was shot, you know?
right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's kind of where we developed our just ridiculousness, and we've carried that out. We don't really have any serious music videos. Almost all of them are just silly. They're like little mini movies, and they're just ridiculous.
Do you guys
That's
play?
what we find funny.
Yeah, that's good. You should make a serious video one time. Like over serious, like the eagle on the
Like,
mountain.
it's so serious that it's funny. Yeah, no, we could do that. Totally.
Do you guys play songs off this album, or is this
Yeah,
kind of-
absolutely.
I don't
Yeah.
have the songs.
No, that's
listed,
cool.
but-
Yeah, we play Bats, Blood, and Bitches. That's the main one that we play, and we
Yeah.
play Devil's Day.
Oh, okay.
So that's another one that like this album's really good. I really like this album a lot. I like all our albums. It's just like a lot of
Yeah.
them. It's like anything. It's a learning experience.
How's it writing lyrics, man? Do you write the lyrics, or do you?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that hard?
Like the
what do you
first
do?
album, and I think a couple on that one Jamie wrote. But yeah, I love writing lyrics.
When you were in Grayskull, you wrote the lyrics too.
Yeah,
as
I wrote
well.
all of them,
So when you get in Casket Creatures, the subject matter changes. I mean, obviously, I guess, or I mean, like, how do you go about that? Do you
So what I will say is like I'm not good at like sitting down and writing about my feelings. You know, like it's got to be like about something. You know, like all the Grayskull shit. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
this song's about like a lone barbarian fighting like a tribe. And then like it's like this Casket Creature song is about Michael Myers stabbing somebody in the face. It's like that kind of shit is fun for me, and it's like I'm telling a story. And Casket Creatures is like a blend of like we do some that are based on certain things, and then some are just like ideas in my head.
Okay.
But like they all tell a story. Because I grew up listening to stuff like like Iron Maiden, Bruce Dickinson, like King Diamond. They tell stories through their songs.
Yeah.
I'm all about like telling like an epic, big story.
Cool. I love
and like
it.
all of our videos too. It's like they tell these big, like grandiose stories. Now we may only have $12 to shoot the video, but the idea is big and like epic and like means something. And like that's how I write my lyrics. Like I go way overboard on like just trying to be like just big. And it's like a big high concept lyrical style.
What comes first when you have when whoever writes a song? Do you have the lyrics? Do you have the music? How do you do that? Do you know what I mean?
It depends. Like so, most of the new stuff, it's all me and Derek write most of it. And a lot of times, like I'll have a vocal idea, and like I'll come to him, and like I'll be like, oh, like the chorus should be like this chant, or this it should go like this, and he's like, cool. And like Derek's really good about feeling out what I'm singing and playing something that goes with it. So like, I think you asked earlier if I play any instruments. Yes and no. Like I fool around with a little bit of keyboard and bass, but like in general, and harmonica occasionally, but that's a whole different story. But in general, like I've just been a singer. That's like my main focus. Like I like being the front man. I like not having my hands doing stuff. I like to be able to just get in people's faces, jump in the crowd, and be wild. So yeah, I mean, like with me and Derek, like he knows my voice and he can actually pick out the guitar parts based on what I'm singing, which is a talent on to it.
That's good to have.
Yeah.
So when you guys were doing these, I forgot to ask you, were you playing a lot of shows at the time?
Yeah, like, we really haven't, like, the biggest show that really started kicking Casket Creatures off is we played the Monster Bash in 2012, I think, the Rock and Roll Monster Bash. And that one is when like Casket Creatures were getting asked to play stuff. Like before that, it was like, please let us play at your venue. And we probably had like 5 or 6 of those where we're like, please, please, please let us play. We want to play. And then we played the Monster Bash, and that was like, oh my God, we're breaking into Atlanta now. And then ever since then, we've been asked to play places. And like, we really haven't had trouble finding stuff. And since then, we've grown and we found out-of-state bands we know, and like we play regionally a lot. We do little mini tours, and that's kind of how it all fell in place.
So after you did the second album, your next one is She Screams.
Yep.
What were you thinking going into this? I mean, is there like we need to go in this direction?
This one is probably it's definitely one of our heaviest ones. But like this one, we were just like, we need to just be like, listen, the Casket Creatures aren't fucking around. We're here to stay. And like, I mean, we got songs on like Get Killed Motherfucker. And like, that's probably the most serious video we have where we're like kidnapping a bunch of like campers and sacrificing them to Satan and shit. Like, it's like very like dark and like, but it's like still campy and fun, but it's like, this is probably the darkest one we have.
Did James
like
help with this as well?
Yeah, James actually recorded all of this one. And we recorded it in 2 days. It's an EP, so there's only like 8 songs.
Cool.
But like we recorded this in 2 days, but like this song, She Screams, is like about a girl who gets possessed because they were fucking around and opened up a doorway and she was dragged down to hell. And like it's very, very fucked up. Like it's very graphic, and that's probably one of the darkest songs.
So you wrote the lyrics around that concept, or
yeah.
Cool.
Like I just came up with the concept and read the lyrics around it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and like we talked to Liz Gruesome, and she did the artwork, and I still love that artwork.
Cool. Yeah, it's great.
And she did the Die 95 artwork. That
Oh,
Jamie,
yes. Yeah, it's the same kind of concept,
yeah,
black and white.
Yeah, exactly. So like it. Yeah, I'm super happy with that one. That's
Skipping ahead though, when you said Die 95, I love that song you and Jamie did, man.
Oh, thank you, man.
I love your voice on that, dude. It's
I
so
appreciate
cool.
it, man. That was so much fun, man. And that's what I said. I love recording stuff. And it's cool, too, because when Die 95 plays, I can be like, yo, I'm coming. Like, I'll jump on stage and sing that song with y'all. It's fun.
Great. I love it.
I love that one. It was a lot of fun.
It was wild seeing Jamie sing. I was like, I didn't even know you could sing.
Yeah. No, like he did some in Casket Creatures, like backup vocals and stuff. But like I'm glad that he's finding his footing and like really fucking killing it live. So it's good.
That's awesome. And so, how long between each album? Is this like back to back?
We usually do a year or two.
Really?
Yeah,
Take
I
about
mean,
a year to get a full album. And
Yeah, we'll do like
songs and-
usually like a year of writing, and then like we'll record it the next.
Do you ever
year.
test your songs out before you put them on albums?
Occasionally,
Do
but
you?
usually we have them done before anybody hears them.
Mm-hmm.
But occasionally we have.
Okay, so we have Deranged, right?
Yes.
I like how the you guys have Derek and you on the album cover. I was like thinking Kiss, like you guys should do solo albums, like and have each individual member.
Yeah, yeah. That one. So at the time, so like Jamie had he had to leave for personal reasons after the second album, and the third album was me, Derek, and Cliff did everything on the album. This one, we were in between drummers. James Nation handled the drums on the album, and then we set up a photo shoot, and Cliff couldn't make it to the photo shoot, and it looked fucking awesome, and we're like, we got to use it.
Yeah, it's cool.
And Kevin, the guy who plays guitar now,
Okay.
was the photographer for us, and he was like kind of like the Casket Creatures photographer. Like he would show up to the shows, and he'd take. And it sucks now because we don't have awesome pictures because he plays guitar for us now. And we're like, fuck. But like it is cool because like he became a friend of ours from taking pictures with us and everything. And he did this photo shoot, and we just loved it. And if you see the video, this makes more sense. And Cliff is actually involved in it, but we're kind of like part of Cliff's psyche in the video. So it's like, and he's like imagining killing all these girls, and we're like the people doing the killing. And it's like this weird psychological thing. And so like the song Deranged and the album cover and the video kind of all tell a story.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So
man, that's cool. And so you guys did this album. James Nation did it as well.
Yeah.
Is he he's your guy now?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as he's down to do it, we're always going to go to him.
I remember when James Nation was in Shifted or Shafted. I can't
Shafted.
remember. Shafted.
Shafted. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, him and James Corn.
He is a talented dude. So when you and you said James Corden, so you guys have different band members all along the way, right?
Well, it's mainly drummers.
Drummers, okay.
The Casket Creatures never had a solid drummer.
You had Bradley and
Yeah, well, Brownlee was like filling in a lot, and like Bradley did play for a while. Like he played on the second album, Sex, Blood, and Rock and Roll, like him and Drew. But like it was always a rotating drummer kind of thing, and it was like with Bradley's like, hey, if you need me and you want me to play the show or whatever, like I'm there. But like if y'all get someone else, that's fine. You know, like it was kind of a mutual understanding, and we kind of just like we had James Corn on the first album, and it's like we used Ronnie at one point. Ronnie Massey. And it's just been kind of a cycling thing. And then we finally found the perfect drummer for us.
Yeah, keep talking about him. I got him right here.
And this is the, if this was a VH1 behind the music, this is when we reached our dark point.
Yeah.
And everything gets all sad and the music gets all sad.
We can add all that. So.
But yeah, this is where we found Tony Two Skulls. And he was just incredible. He like...
Was he after this? I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
he was
I interrupted
right
you.
after that
Okay.
album.
Yeah.
So we found him, and he was just incredible. He was fun. He had the same sense of humor as us. He thought that like what we were doing was a lot cooler than like that. He was doing a lot of rockabilly stuff at that point.
Oh, cool.
And he was like, man, he's like I want to wear makeup and like do crazy shit and do weird videos. And he was like just super into it. And like it was good because like before that it was like, yeah, a lot of people were just like, yeah, I'll play drums for you. But it was like no like passion. But Tony had the passion for it, and he was like, "I want to be like a Casket Creature.
He's legit.
I want to do this."
Yeah.
And it was just great, and we were having so much fun. And we were like, we did some music videos with them. We just had it was fucking awesome. And then I go to Europe. I did a little Europe vacation, and was in Romania, and I get a phone call that he passed away like unexpectedly out of nowhere, and. Kind of shattered our lives for a minute. It was awful because not only was he the best drummer we ever had, but he was also like our brother. Like he was like our best friend. Like all of us just loved each other, and like the chemistry thing. It's like it's cool. Like yeah, if you can play drums really good, that's cool. But like it's more important that like you're also like cool to hang out with and like cool to like load in with and hang out at shows with before the show and after the show because you spend a lot of time with these people. It's like a relationship. You have to like practice with them and like talk all the time and like communicate. And like Tony was like one of us, like me, Cliff, and Derek, and Kevin, like all just like hit it off. And yeah, when he passed, it was awful.
That sounds brutal.
But it led to a lot of good things.
So was he on this recent album right here?
No, he wasn't.
So
Unfortunately,
he didn't record an album with you?
Unfortunately, he passed away. We were writing this album with him.
Okay.
And then he passed away.
So this is.
And we actually have a tribute song.
I want to talk
to
about
him.
that. Two Skulls, right?
Yep.
Talk about Two Skulls since we're talking about Tony.
If you look us up on Spotify, that song has more listens than anything that we've ever done.
That's funny because when we were setting this interview up, I went on Spotify and I go, "Damn, Two Skulls is that's the one. Song."
Yeah, dude.
And now listen, I put two and two together. But
yeah,
wow.
yeah, man, just everybody loved him. He was just like lovable guy. Like everyone who ever. I
love the lyrics. You're like he always showed up and brought beer.
Yeah, I was like, you learned the damn songs and you showed up on time. It's like it's in the style of like how we would rib each other and stuff. Like, you know, it's like I never want to lose that. I want to like have the kind of comical thing that we always have between each other.
That must be a big song live too, man. That's
well, we don't play it often.
Oh,
we played it at his. They did a benefit and for him, and like there's actually a charity Upbeat that's like in his name. And we did an event for him, and we played it at that, and we played it at a couple other shows, and then we kind of shelved it. It's like for special occasions only, because it's just like also it's like you don't want to just bust that out at like some random show. Like we're playing, you know, fucking Star Bar or whatever, like on a Tuesday, and we're gonna bust out the Two Skull song. Everybody's gonna get sad and cry. It's like you don't want to do that every show. So it's a special occasion one, but I'm really glad it came together. And then at the end of the song, there's a Two Skulls chant for him, and like we got like just all of his friends and everybody.
Dude, you know what
there.
that reminds me of? Reminds me of Pennywise when they did that one song. I can't remember the name of it now, but they're like, this one's for it's something anthem. I can't remember now, but it's very similar to that. That's really cool.
We tried to get everybody together and just like record a big chant for him at the end.
Wow.
And, it was good. It was really sad, but it brought us all together, and we made something good out of it.
That's great.
As good as it could be.
And that's cool that he was in the videos too, right? So yeah, you always have that.
He was in the Blood Junkies video, and like that, and the Hex video, and the Blood Junkies one. It's just hysterical. I highly suggest checking that out because that like he has the funniest moment in the whole video. So I don't want to give it away. It's too good.
Go look.
It's too good. It involves jizz, but that's all I can say.
All right, so we'll talk about this return. Look, I love this song, Phantom Zone. Man, that song is killer, man.
Thanks,
I love
man.
that song.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, can you talk about that?
Yeah. So me and Derek were sitting around writing some songs, and we're like, we need new Casket Creature songs. And like originally we were talking, we're like, we should go like real like seance and like ghostly and like and supernatural shit. And we were like writing some stuff like that. And then like we wrote Phantom Zone. And I was like, oh yeah, we'll write Phantom Zone, you know, it's like kind of sci-fi thing. And then we wrote Roswell.
I love that song.
And then we wrote Robot Revolution. Yeah. And I'm like, well, fuck it, we're doing a sci-fi album at this point.
You almost
like, it's
do
like
concept. Like
it's like a 50s sci-fi album.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm like, let's do that.
Yeah.
So like all this stuff's like the artwork and stuff's kind of 50s inspired. And,
I love the artwork. Who did the artwork?
Dan Kelly, Elzik.
Yeah. Elvis
and Danzig,
He's awesome.
Dude, he fucking rules.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, but he did the artwork and it's great.
Wow, I didn't know he did artwork.
And one dude, this guy we know, Joe Peaster, he got this tattooed on his entire arm. It's fucking badass.
That's really cool.
I'm like, damn, dude, it's more dedicated than I am. But we just kind of like wrote a bunch of sci-fi inspired songs.
Losers Club, that's a great song too, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah. Trying to get on the It soundtrack. I don't think it's gonna happen. Oh, yeah. But I keep tweeting at him, so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
So after you did this, is this when you're working on your big debut, the Joe Striker?
Yeah, so like starting with we did Hexed and we did Blood Junkies. And
you're busy. It's like
consistent. And we did Phantom Zone and like we were like, and we did Deranged and we're like, man, fuck, we can do music videos. And like Kevin's like a great fucking cameraman. He's great at lighting.
Right.
And like we're like, we don't need anyone to make a fucking movie. Like we're like, because we're like, it'd be awesome to make a movie. We could just fucking do that. And everyone expected us to do like some sort of horror thing. We're like, no, we're gonna do like cheesy 80s action movie. Renegade cop doesn't give a shit about the rules. You know, just that kind of thing. And like, it's just the shit I grew up liking, you know? Like, so I grew up loving horror, but I also grew up loving bad action movies.
Yeah.
So it worked out great. And there's some elements to the Casket Creatures involved in this too. So
when's this come out, man?
We're looking at August. Is what we're looking at, August, like actually releasing. But we're gonna launch a big pre-sale where you can get like the Blu-ray and DVD and everything.
Cool. Yeah. Do you guys have a trailer and everything?
We have a teaser up on our Facebook page right now.
How can people find it? Just Joe Striker?
Just Joe Striker. Joe Striker movie.
And I love how it's like written, produced, direct. You got all the titles right there, man.
Yeah, Ryan Cadaver and Kevin Slayfield right there. Like written, produced, funded, everything. Yeah, and not everything. I mean, like there's some great actors involved, and my fiance Nicole's doing the makeup, so
cool.
it's going good. We're over halfway done shooting it right now.
Is this something
I'm
you
shooting tomorrow, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, all day.
Is this something you want to do in the future? Like more of this?
I think so. I'm loving it. Like I'm having so much fun. And like from what I hear, the shooting is actually like kind of the labor part of it. Like the editing part is like where it's really fun, and we've only just begun on that. But like everything's just looking so much better than I expected. So it's a daunting task to do an actual full-length movie as opposed to a music video. But I mean, I'm just having so much fun with it.
So when you put something like this out, like I know streaming's the big thing now. How hard is that to get something streamed like this? You know, I mean, you said Blu-ray, and that's awesome.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna do a physical release. We are gonna have it like available to rent on like Amazon Prime and stuff. That's the idea.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but like from what I understand, if you put it up there to stream on Amazon Prime, you make nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, unless like hundreds of thousands of people watch it, which I doubt the hundreds of thousands of people are gonna watch Joe Striker. We'll see.
It's gonna be a Netflix.
I mean,
it's gonna be The Dirt, right?
That would be fucking rad, but I don't know.
So I got one.
But from what I've seen of it so far, I fully believe in it. I think if you like fun, cheesy, like Andy Sedaris style, like ridiculous action movies, that's the one.
Oh, I can't wait. Do you got a music for it? Like a soundtrack? Are you guys doing the music for it?
Oh yeah.
Is this all Casket Creatures?
We got the music. No, it's not all Casket Creatures. We actually have a German metal band that like pretty much looks like Motley Crue, like back in the day. They're called Snakebite, and they're fucking awesome. And they're donating some songs for it. And then we have a horror punk band called The Other, and they're the biggest horror punk band in Germany.
Wow, that's cool.
Or Europe, really. And they're donating some songs.
Nice.
And just because they believe in it. Like, they saw the artwork and stuff, and they're like, yes, this is ridiculous and silly, and I want to be a part of it. I'm like, fuck yeah.
Can people hear all these songs on a soundtrack or something? Or
We're
like
talking about releasing some sort of soundtrack. With
Yeah, you got
we
to.
haven't really
That'd be
gotten
cool.
to the promotion and the physical media stuff yet. We're trying to get it done, and then we're going to do a big like campaign to like pre-order, and like we're going to include all sorts of silly shit.
So right now, people can find it on social media.
Yeah,
Is there a website?
Not yet.
Okay.
But yeah, right now it's Facebook's the main way you can find it.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
And then we got.
there's some stuff on YouTube.
Have you ever heard? We got this too. Have you ever heard of this band? I don't know this kind of. Gypsy.
I don't know why this is here.
Sorry.
Yeah, so
You
this
ever
is
heard
a
of
band that, I was talking about my dad earlier.
Yeah.
Like,
Is that your dad?
No, but he did. He don't look anything like me. But yeah, my dad, he let me listen to Del Jepson and the Nighthawks when I was about 7, and I did like him. I'm not gonna lie, Wampus Cat. But that fucking hillbilly son of a bitch showed up here and just storming into town. Like, he was like stealing all the fucking band beers. He took all the fucking money. He's just an asshole.
Yeah.
Man. And like
You guys were sponsored by beer. I wonder if that happened because of him.
I doubt it.
Like,
Nothing
you're not
happened
sponsored.
because of him.
Yeah.
He's worthless, man. He shows up all the time, just storming in like he owns the place. He uses all of our gear. He's just a dick, man. But some of I like Bobby Cox. He's pretty good.
Yeah, he's good.
He's got a white.
He's got gray hair too.
Yeah, he does. He does.
That's good.
But yeah, Del Jepson Nighthawks are a good band. Just a couple assholes, like that. Especially
Yeah.
these two right here.
Yeah.
Dickheads.
That's good. All right, man. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, man. This has been great.
Dude, I appreciate you being here, man.
Thank
This
you
is
so
great,
much,
dude.
man.
Thank you,
I
Ryan.
appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it, brother.
It's good to see you, dude.
Thank you.